2025 is right around the corner, and I'm going to show you a 5-step process on how you can crush your New Year's resolutions this year. My name's Jordan, and I'm the head coach and owner of Phoenix Performance Coaching, where we empower gamers to reclaim their health, lose weight, and build the confidence to finally become the main character of their lives. If you're like most people, I'm sure you've had resolutions in the past where you told yourself, all right, diet starts January 1st. I'm going to do nothing but eat boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, white rice. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week for an hour at a time and do at least 30 minutes of cardio with 30 minutes of strength training. And I'm going to lose all this weight, and it's all going to be fantastic, and it's all going to start tomorrow. And then this will be the year that you absolutely crush your goals. And you do that on January 1st, maybe January 2nd, but then January 3rd rolls around and you're too sore to go to the gym because you've worked out hard for the last 2 days, which were the first 2 days you've worked out in a year. And then boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, and white rice is just way too bland and boring, and you're getting sick of it and you feel completely defeated. And so what do? You lay on the couch, completely defeated. You crush an entire large pizza to yourself, and you throw your hands up in the air saying, well, I guess this just isn't the right time. That's what I call the perpetual cycle of failure, where you start off hard, you go hard for a few days, and then you fall off hard, and it's really hard to get back up. And you keep spinning your wheels for a week, 6 months, a year, to where next year, in 2026, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. And I'm going to show you 5 tips on how to prevent that from happening so you can actually crush your New Year's resolutions this year. Let's make these resolutions an actual reality and not just a pipe dream. Step number 1, let's create end of the year goals rather than focusing on what you're going to be doing in the very beginning. So once we create an end of the year goal, we can then work backwards and figure out what needs to be done in the beginning. And that allows us to create a roadmap for the whole year rather than just spinning our wheels in January. Which leads to step number 2, which is make sure your goals are realistic. Make sure your end of the year goal is realistic, and then every other goal leading up to it is realistic. Let's say your goal is to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. That could be realistic unless you're only 120 pounds. But if you're 350 pounds, a 50-pound goal is very realistic. So if you're 350 pounds and your goal for the end of this year is to be below 300, that is a very realistic and attainable goal. And I would recommend making goals that are really attainable, so that way it allows for roadblocks, holidays, and other wrenches that life's going to throw at you. And so although if you're 350 pounds, 75, maybe even 100 pounds is probably realistic for a year, but I would recommend starting off with 50. So that way you at least know it's going to be a realistic goal that you can obtain, and it's going to be sustainable rather than trying to sprint for the next 12 months only to lose 100 pounds and then gain 120 back. That's called weight rebounding, and a lot of us do that when we crash diet. We lose a bunch of weight, let's say 50 pounds, and then we regain 60 or maybe even 70 pounds. So that way we're worse off than what we were when we first started. So for our example, we are going to want to lose 50 pounds in the next year. And so roughly that's going to be 1 pound a week. So that way we have a goal to lose 4 to 5 pounds each month. That's very realistic. That's very sustainable. Some months you're absolutely going to crush it, losing 8 to 10 pounds, and you're going to be totally fine. Other months you're going to be really struggling because life is throwing everything at you, from work stress, personal stress, fighting with your significant other. You just had 3 birthday parties in a row, and maybe you just maintained your weight rather than losing any weight. Having a realistic, sustainable goal like 50 pounds in a year allows you to have those variances. Step number 3, focus on the big rocks. And what I mean by that are the things that are going to yield the biggest results. And those are going to be sleep, daily movement, and your overall daily caloric intake. Don't focus on things like supplements, equipment, like what type of workout shoes you have, what type of resistance bands, waist trainers, what type of fat burners you're using. Anything with the word hack in it is going to be absolute bullshit. And please, for the love of God, don't try to biohack, because that's just a scam. Literally everything that's biohacking, anything that's /hacking is going to be a scam. So tune up your sleep, tune up your daily movement, and really tune up your calories. And I promise you, you will see massive changes throughout this year. Step number 4, start slow. Like what I said in the beginning, everybody starts hard January 1st, and then they fall off hard. They go from 0 to 100 back down to 0 again. When I'm working with my clients, we go from 0 to 25 to 50 to 75 to 100, and then maybe we drop back down to 75. Life's throwing more chaos, maybe back down to 50, up to 75 to 100. So we're constantly adjusting things to be realistic and sustainable, rather than having that all or nothing mindset, which the all or nothing mindset is what's keeping you in this perpetual cycle of failure. And break everything down to the minimum effective dose or smallest daily action that you can do. If you're trying to improve your sleep, you should really focus on your evening routine instead of your morning routine. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier and then go to bed 5 minutes earlier. This might seem very small and minuscule, but it will yield to big changes. If you set your alarm 5 minutes earlier every single day, then in a month you could be potentially waking up 2.5 hours earlier. Now, I doubt most people want to go to bed 2.5 hours earlier than what they are doing now, but you can see how quickly this stuff will add up, rather than trying to bite it all off all at once. Now, when it comes to exercise, working out, or daily movement, if your goal is to eventually go to the gym 5 times a week for an hour at a time, and you haven't worked out since last January, then start really small. Start with maybe 10 minutes of daily movement each day. You don't even have to go to the gym. Just set a goal of 10 minutes of daily movement. And that movement could be whatever you want. It could be 10 minutes of walking, stretching, body weight strength movements behind your office chair, yoga, Pokemon Go, or Beat Saber, whatever you want to do that day. Having a daily movement goal that's really dealer's choice can really help lower that barrier to entry and get you active and get you moving while feeling like you're being productive. And if 10 minutes is too much, start off with 5 minutes. And if that's even too much for you, if that's too daunting, then have your goal be to put on workout clothes or your workout shoes. Because chances are you're going to get up, you're going to put those clothes on, and you're not going to just take them back off and sit back down on the couch. No, you're probably going to get up, you're going to go check the mail, maybe go for a walk, maybe do a couple bodyweight squats, maybe do some push-ups, maybe take a longer walk, maybe do some stretching. You're going to turn that into a full-length workout when you didn't feel like you had the motivation to do a full workout. But having the goal be the lowest barrier to entry as possible, to where you are able to get up and put your workout clothes on, that will be the catalyst needed to get you to get up and get moving. And then when your initial goal becomes too easy, bump it up. Go from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 minutes to 15, 15 to 30, whatever feels most appropriate, and keep incrementally increasing that to where I bet at the end of 2025, you'll be going to the gym 5 times a week for an hour at a time. And it'll feel easy, habitual, effortless, because you started off small and you were taking baby steps to make that happen. And the same goes with nutrition. We don't need to dive too deep into that, but start small. Maybe start off with a vegetable goal of getting 1 to 2 servings of vegetables in a day. Most people don't eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, and so really leaning into that, increasing your veggie intake, increasing your fruit intake every day can really help. Then also implement a protein goal, because a lot of people are really low in protein, and so having a protein goal and a fruits and veggies goal are 2 really good ways to improve your overall nutrition without directly tracking your calories or macros. All right, the 5th and final step, and I think this is the most important step, is do not do everything all at once. So we've created our year-end goal and then bite-sized goals throughout the year. And we've also created small, slow, sustainable changes for our big rocks. And now we want to focus on just 1, maybe 2 of those goals. So don't necessarily try to focus on your sleep, your nutrition, and your workouts all at once. I would pick 1, maybe 2. I would really focus on sleep and nutrition. If those 2 create too high of a barrier together, I would focus on sleep, then nutrition, and then working out, and do it in that order. And so really tune up your sleep, give it a week or 2, maybe even a month. Put all of your extra energy into improving your overall sleep hygiene, and you'll notice once you improve your sleep quality, your energy levels are going to increase dramatically. So that way you can put more energy into other things like nutrition, workout, work life, family life, personal life. And so once you really can tune up your sleep, everything else will get a lot easier. So start there, and then 2 to 4 weeks later, add in some nutrition goals. That could be adding in the vegetables and the protein, or tracking your calories, and then slowly build that up. While still prioritizing sleep, you can now add in these nutrition goals. They will feel easy and sustainable. And then you will bump them up for maybe another 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. Then you'll add in some daily movement goals or some body weight workouts a couple times a week, and then you'll keep tuning those up. And so as you can see, you're starting off with just one thing, and then a couple of weeks later, you're adding another thing. And as you can see, this has a snowball effect where you start off with one thing and you tune it up and you improve it. And then when that becomes habitual, you then add on another thing that becomes easy and sustainable and habitual. And then you add on another thing that becomes easy, habitual, and sustainable. So that way you keep doing that throughout the whole entire year, to where at the end of the year, you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, no problem. Your energy levels are through the roof now because your sleep is so tuned up. And you're properly fueling your body with all the vegetables and the fruits and the lean proteins that your body needs. And now you're feeling like a lean, mean fighting machine because you're hitting the gym consistently 4 to 5 times a week, hitting the weights, hitting the cardio, and really feeling strong and like a true warrior, like the true main character that you should be. All because you started off small and you built this routine slowly. Think of this like D&D. You're not going to be fighting Tiamat at first level. You're going to be fighting rats in the cellar, and you're going to keep going. You're going to be progressing and leveling up until you get to 20th level, where then you and your party are going to fight Tiamat and hope and pray to Bahamut that you survive. That's how we need to approach our health and fitness. We need to really chip away at that perfectionist mindset, that all or nothing mindset that prevents us from taking action, because if we can't do it right, we might as well not do it at all. And that type of behavior prevents us from actually taking action. So create realistic goals, start off small, and pick one major rock to focus on, tune that up, and then add the other one. And if you keep doing that throughout the entire year, I guarantee you will absolutely crush your New Year's resolutions this year. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more helpful tips on how you can reclaim your health and finally become the main character of your life that you're supposed to be.